Omitimi Ambaso Istanbul. But then it's about almost so many years in Liverpool to me echo conjure that particular magic Istanbul at the time I know against AC Milan in that particular moment in the UEFA Champions League final. They were able to conjure that particular magic by coming back 3 goals down to me in the penalty shootout to me at the core minima Liverpool, and they are going back to Istanbul after so many years. They are going to meet again Galatasaray in the UEFA Champions League group stages. But I will check in the history between Galatasaray and the Liverpool Football Club. You will understand, say, this is the 5th time Galatasaray and the Liverpool will meet in Istanbul. But then when you are talking about these two clubs, there are also successive wins over the other club. These two clubs aim most of the successive wins over each other. In the last 5 games of Metimia Bono, the side of Liverpool Football Club, it was just a win. Galatasaray, it was a win. And then just 3 draws in the APM, Edema, these 2 football clubs. But the last time Omutimi Airbo in the group stages matches was far back in 2006. Of course, when Galatasaray was able to win Liverpool Football Club by 3 goals to 2, it was Istanbul, Mokoboye in the Champions League. Then apart from that, Liverpool in the last 2 games, Omabo against Galano, they have been winless in the last 2 games. The first match that they played was in 2002, and they played a home, Omabo draw against Galatasaray at Anfield. And then in 2006, Erana Mekan once and previously, they went to Istanbul and then they were able to lose against the side of Galatasaray by 3 goals to 2. But so a lot of things for Liverpool. That's how check the away matches Omabo in the UEFA Champions League outside of home field called the Anfield. They've played most of their away matches against most of the clubs. And one of these clubs Omabo against them is Chelsea Football Club. In the last game Omabo in against Chelsea, 5 games Omabo, 3 defeats for the side of Liverpool, and then 2 draws PM in the side of Chelsea Football Club. And against the side of Napoli, 3 defeats in the PM Liverpool Football Club. So it tells you, say, so Omobo outside the kind of Anfield as a sports stadium, outside their home, they've not been able to have a convincing win in most of the matches Omobo away from their sports stadium Omobo against Galatasaray and Enyume. But then you are talking about Galatasaray. The last 3 games Omobo against English side, they've been unbeaten on that particular ground. Against Manchester United, they were able to beat Manchester United back-to-back in the Europa League. When they played against Tottenham Hotspur also in the Europa League, they were able to beat Tottenham Hotspur in that particular level. But Cheke, in the last 18 games, Galatasaray, 18 against English clubs, they've been able to have just 2 wins per Ewohonum, and then 5 draws in APM at the other side of Galatasaray, and the other remaining figures has been a conceding defeat for the side of Galatasaray. It tells you, say, they've not been good in the last 18 games in their entire competition, being it the Europa Champions League, being it the UEFA Champions League, and also the Europa against English side. They've not been able to have that kind of convincing win against them in away matches. Then you are talking about Liverpool. The last 14 games in the UEFA Champions League, DIABY, they've been able to win 13 games out of the 14 games in the UEFA Champions League. And they've been able to score 56 goals, and then such 56 goals, 23 matches they were able to make sure someone keep a lot of clean sheet within this particular number. Then again, in the last 18 games at Galatasaray for in the UEFA Champions League, they've been able to have a successive win, close to about 8 successive wins in the last 18 games in the UEFA Champions League. And you're going to meet the side of Liverpool. That same club ultimately conjured that particular magic in the 2005 Champions League final against AC Milan. The side of Galatasaray ever been meeting the side of Liverpool Football Club. But this season in the UEFA Champions League, the first match that Liverpool played, they won. And the first match that Galatasaray also played, they lost against the side of Eintracht Frankfurt by a huge number of goals in this particular season. Nkoye in the opener of the UCL for the side of Galatasaray. This game means a lot of things for Arne Slot, because over the weekend, the match of Boye over the weekend against Crystal Palace, he was able to lose with that particular fact. So, Okom in the UEFA Champions League, that's when you had the first opener last midweek. That's what he made winning, and even in the second game of the UEFA Champions League, and then he have been able to make sure to go in against Galatasaray. He's going against this particular team and also winning against them, because when winning, that's Oxan to concede. Any that kind of lose against Galatasaray, it will mount a lot of possessive pressure on Arne Slot. So this particular game, according to some of the sources I may pick it on the ground, no, it is a massive win, and he is going on to win against the side of Galatasaray. Then you talk about these two football clubs, almost tactics and on the field of play. Then you compare, say, Arne Slot using Liverpool Football Club, the 4-2-3-1 tactical system, sometimes about the 4-3-3 tactical system, no, can he be able to conjure that particular material magic for the Liverpool Football Club? In the 4-back system, who say Arne Slot, Liverpool, no, sometimes he places the 4-back, so he makes sure say end done it the same number 4, but then it will change from the 4-back system to the 3-back system, or be making sure say one particular fullback will become an inverted midfielder just to support the midfielders or more in Finfio. It's shown by why you get just Andy Robertson in the left fullback position, then Ibrahim Konate and Van Dijk as a 4 and 5 positioner for Liverpool or make sure Honum. Then the right fullback position will be Jeremy Frimpong as a right fullback for the side of Liverpool Football Club. But between the left fullback and then the right fullback, most of the time, so what Arne Slot, the time I know about Trent Alexander-Arnold as a right fullback, no about no more as an inverted midfielder. Sometimes a Trent anymore, he positioned himself as a central midfielder. Now a free up Dominic Szoboszlai to go up and then add a lot of creativity in attacking third of Liverpool. But this time around, so we check Jeremy Frimpong, Omon Tam Bono as an inverted midfielder, but sometimes Omutimi Bono as an offensive winger just to double up with Mohamed Salah as a right wing forward for Liverpool. And Hono Omutimi opposes a lot of almost strength when they are attacking against any other opponent since the start of this particular season. But in Finfi Honomono will be the side of Ryan Gravenberch and Nasser Florent Vett Omutimi boxing in Finfi Edema Liverpool Football Club. In the left corner of Liverpool, Sawunyo Andy Robertson, he doesn't go in much when it comes to offensive trade for Liverpool or left fullback position, but sometimes he's still just in the middle, not making sure that he will act as a defensive cover. Ediama, the left winger now, Opeti, free the left hand side of Liverpool, Omankasa, Manasa, Omankasa, a left wing position. Then you get Cody Kapua in most of the offensive movement. Andy Robertson provided as a defensive wing cover. He can easily possess a lot of balls into the 18-yard box of Liverpool Football Club. And Sawunya Mohamed Salah at the tip of that particular attacking third. Sawunya Florent Vett at any moment in time. So on depicted horror spaces, our opponents major you get Florent Vett, you get Hugo Iketika. So space ni available enough for him. He can thrive on some of the goals in attacking third for Liverpool Football Club. I expect Liverpool at any moment in time to score against Galatasaray because in their last matches that they've played, although say Onya a convincing dominance against Galatasaray in most of the 5 matches on Metimiabo. 1 win for Liverpool, 1 win for Galatasaray, and just 3 draws in the But I'm very sure and convinced. Say Arne Slot, with the game will lose here over the weekends, he can easily win against the side of Galatasaray and then Obitimi and that particular maximum 3 points to help him get into the knockout stages of this particular competition. But Diaby, so check Chelsea Football Club against Benfica. It is quite optimistic, she say. So check the relationship existing between Jose Mourinho and Chelsea Football Club. It is quite obvious. Share the kind of coach obey Edema Chelsea. When Chelsea are called in a way of 50 years, no munti the English Premiership, That time, Roman Abramovich, I invested a lot of money within the football club. He needed to get one particular manager at the time, now arising in Portugal. And use FC Porto to do all sorts of things in Portugal. Now, Chelsea, it was very, very optimistic for Jose Mourinho to come in and announce himself as a winner. So, most of these clubs are Jose Mourinho inventing as a serial winner for most of the clubs. You wouldn't talk about only FC Porto, but then the side of Chelsea, to me, Jose Mourinho, for him to become a serial winner for the football club. And he has that kind of connection, he has that kind of small passion for the side of Chelsea Football Club. We refuse to free Chelsea, initially most of the football clubs. A preview of Chelsea Biano of Sofa and San was a Chelsea Football Club. Or Sofa. So a camera say that kind of connection, the passion, sometimes Ushia Chelsea yana edding kakra. So bit much a Chelsea Football Club. Just like what I said. In the 2010, Utimi making sure say Obo against Chelsea, or used to Inter Milan. When he won against Chelsea, it was Stamford Bridge. he continued and then won the UEFA Champions League, making sure that man settled that particular record straight in the treble season at Oje Edema Inter Milan. I foresee Chelsea losing against the side of Benfica because in the last 5 matches at Chelsea, it has not been unreal for the side of Chelsea. Looking at Enzo Maresca, the kind of tactics the last 5 matches, just a win penny at the side of Enzo Maresca. And I believe Jose Mourinho, at any moment in time, can win against the side of Benfica. Sorry, can win against the side of Chelsea Football Club.
Mate, medasi pa mamre na yene on
Manchester United only so finish second.
Only so. That's on your second position bini at anyway. The menhwe na menye na yembra na yenko kokura mufi. Good afternoon, boss. Congratulations to my darling club.